And here's another interesting part about the game is the backgrounds and the fight scenes. The fight scenes are like acid trips. And if you disable here, wait, what layer is it? Oh, I thought you could see the full background, but I guess not. Anyways, so the way you play this game is you can bash something, you know, which is just attack. You have items, defend, and then you don't have any psychic abilities, so you can't use any. So you just beat the fuck out of them. And then you get hit, and you take damage. 9 damage is a lot. Bitch. And then you get your life back by eating a cookie. That's why you want to take the dog. He really does help. If you don't go with your dog, you just don't have him. But it's a lot harder to deal with the game then, because they do pretty significant damage early on. Now, one of the things about the game is you notice the life bar, how when I get hit, the life like scrolls down, it rotates down. If you're attacking, or if you're getting attacked, your life will, oh, I got a critical hit. Well, he's fucking done. The smash thing comes up when you get a critical hit. If you get attacked and your life is still like, you know, spinning down, but you finish the battle before it finishes spinning, even if you take more damage than what you've got in your life bar, you'll still be able to win the battle, as long as your life doesn't actually hit 0. There's been so many times I've won battles because of that. And so now I have the power of life up 8, which is the first psychic ability you get. So if you use that in battle, you can use it outside of battle too, but if you use that in battle, then you get a whole bunch of life back. But we're just going to beat the shit out of them anyways, because we fucking missed. We're terrible. Oh my god, nobody's hitting anybody! Wow, he took my fucking cookie. Yeah, the enemies can steal shit from you, so... If people feel they're getting ignored in the chat, I'm not intentionally ignoring people, it's just that I'm trying to get better at not constantly replying to stuff in the chat, because then when I put this stuff up on YouTube, people get butthurt because they're like, oh my god, all you're doing is replying to the chat and actually playing the game, and so I am not intentionally ignoring anybody, it's just there's 370 people in here, and it's hard to, wow, 2 criticals in a row, holy shit. It's hard to constantly see what everybody's saying, but I'm not going to fall asleep while playing this. I am awake, I got stuff to keep me awake too. I don't put the chat in the video because people could say extremely, like, you know, homophobic or racist or offensive things, and then I'd have to scan through the entire 24-hour-long video to make sure that nobody said anything like that, because on YouTube that would be a breaking of TOS and I'd get banned and so forth, so it wouldn't be worth it. Yeah, I haven't seen a snake yet. I don't get that. And I'm not going to fall asleep on it during the credits, no worries. How have I not hit a fucking snake yet? Ambidextroid, I don't think I've seen that. Send it to my Gmail if you can. How much money do I need to be set? If I wanted to be set for the rest of the year, I would need approximately... Oh, I did the wrong thing. I would need approximately like $20,000 to be set for the rest of the year. Oh, there's a snake. Okay, we'll fight the snake. And I don't think anybody's going to donate me $20,000 because that would just be insane. You're like fucking Bill Gates or Donald Trump or something then if you have $20,000. But like I said, anything helps. Like $5 helps. Well, actually, I'll say this. Don't donate me anything less than $5. Not because I'm like, you know, fuck you, I don't want your money if you're not going to donate me that much. But PayPal takes away I think $1 to $2 of whatever you donate plus 2% of whatever you donate. So if you send me like $1, nothing's actually going to come through at all. So it's just their fee for doing the thing. So yeah. So this guy's name is AzuriteYT, which you get it. He's a liar. He exaggerates. He plays a role in the game later on too. If somebody donated me $20,000, I would feature them on my channel for the rest of the year. Every single video I would put up for the rest of the year would have their name in the fucking info and their link, and I don't know what else. So you can't check that yet. And here's your brother Picky, Dick Picky. So he's considerably nicer than Pokey. And by the way, Pokey's actual name is Porky, but I guess they changed that in the translation because they probably thought Pokey was a lot less offensive than Porky. You know, it can't have anything offensive. It's a Nintendo game. So he's a lot more mature than his big brother, who is generally kind of a dick. And you start to leave, and as you leave, you hear a buzzing sound. Nope. I think that's the most I've ever gotten Bob Saget, yeah. I have done 48-hour streams before, actually. I played Rock Band for 48 hours before. And it was extremely tiring. But I did it. A BM not. I'm from 10 years in the future. And in the future, all is okay. Now, I'm just going to explain this because this is a really fucking long part of the story. Yeah. Basically, here's the thing. Gygus, again, the last boss from the first game, in the future, completely owns the whole Earth. He just fucking sends everybody straight to hell, whatever else, you know, he kills everybody, blows up the planet, blah, 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 etc. But in the future, which is where this little Buzz guy is from, he's like a futuristic crime fighter somehow. When the chosen boy reaches the point, he will find the light, the passing of time where shadow the nightmare rot. Basically, you save the fucking Earth. You save the Earth, and that's what the prophecy says. But there's got to be 3 other boys and a girl that fucking go with it. And so you have to have wisdom, courage, and friendship, and none of those really come into play until like much later. So now you have to get the fuck out. If you hit no on this, you have to listen to this whole goddamn thing again. So do not hit no. Trent, there's no amount of money that I would not accept if people donated it and it did not affect their way of life. If people donated me a bunch and it did not affect their way of life, it was not money they desperately needed or even needed at all, etc., then I would not mind. But if they needed it, then I do not want them to donate me that. So Pokey gets butthurt here because he's afraid that he's one of the boys that has to save the Earth because he's a total pussy. So Marshall Rocker, I would probably not cry if 20,000 was donated. That's not because it wouldn't mean a lot to me. It's just because I don't know. I could not cry at something like that. Like, it takes a lot to make me do that. Like, even if somebody donated $1 million, I would be in shock, but I would not cry from it. I don't really cry from happiness, I guess, if that makes sense. Or at least not from that kind of happiness. And so now you face your first big enemy, which is a Starman. And so a Starman is basically one of Gygus's like shock troops from the future. And so you get that little swirly thing when you're into a pro boss. And so now we have a acid trip background, as you can see. Interestingly, it's made up of 2 layers. If you disable one layer, you can see it's just this, and then that. So that's kind of cool for anybody that didn't know that. But you don't have any PSI besides life up. This is actually just kind of a demonstration battle. What he used is a psychic shield Buzz did, and it basically protects you from psychic attacks. Now I'm going to say something. The psychic shields, you like never use the whole game. They're just not worth it. It's just better to just beat the shit out of the enemy. So basically you have your psychic shield, and it makes all that shit disappear, and it just nullifies it. So Buzz is fucking buff, and he does like 110 damage. You do a weak-ass 6 damage because you're a little kid with a baseball bat fighting a soldier from the future. I think it would be harder to be a indie game developer than be in a band. And actually be successful, I mean. So you just basically have to go through this. You have to go through this and so forth. I don't upload my videos to both my channels to get more money because it would be redundant. And it's like, if you're gonna watch it on one channel, why would you watch it on the other one? So basically what he said is, you remember those crows and snakes and dogs that attacked earlier? Gygus is exerting his influence from the future, somehow, to affect these creatures and later on humans to basically attack you because you're like the good guys. So if you try and go back home, you obviously can't do that yet because you've got all your friends with you. Although you all do eat something to get your life back. That's what your mom does. She eats food, or you eat her food, and then you get your life back. And that just sounded all sorts of wrong. And so you go in here, and you talk to him, and I don't make any money off the stream. I'm not partnered. So you talk to the mom, and she's butthurt, and this is their dad. And so they get ran off. Now, notably, in the Japanese version, you hear that sound, but in the Japanese version, it's a lot louder, and it's a lot more severe. And he basically says he's going to like beat the shit out of them, and instead of here, it's just like they're not going to get any dessert. So this is notable here, too, because he says that he's loaned his father a lot of money, like $100,000 or more. So if you're wondering where your dad gets the money to put into your ATM account once you beat monsters, that's where he gets it from. This part makes no sense by here. This part makes no sense. So she smacks the dung beetle and somehow kills this guy from the future. So basically, okay, so here's another large part. Basically what he's saying is, you have to go to 8 different spots on the Earth, and you have to gather the power of those 8 spots. And each one of these spots has a boss behind it, and if you beat the boss, then you have free access to the point, and then you get what's going on there. Now, to be able to gather these things, you have to have something called a sound stone, which is what he's about to give you. And the sound stone records the songs from each one of the points into making it a full song. Fucking shit. See? They trick you with that. If you keep on pressing the button, it's like, do you want to hear the story one more time? Yes! Yes! I want to hear it one more time. They fucking troll you so much on that. No! I'm fading fast. Some fucking housewife just beat the shit out of like a futuristic soldier. So now if you go to the items, you can see that there is a soundstone. And so if you look at it, there's nothing there right now. It's just pretty much silence. Well, they do this in Ocarina of Time, but take into account this game came out like, you know, like 5 years before that game.